Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. Today, we are back on board with PRESTINNI. So, I like to hop on board with PRESTINNI because he plays so fast and so aggressive, and there's so many different things that he brings to Chicago that we're not usually used to seeing, right? We're kind of used to seeing the formal point of views, the scum point of views, even like the envoy point of views. But I like to watch even Arcides. Arcides doesn't stream all that much. So whenever one of the twins is streaming, I just like to hop on board because they play the game so differently and they offer us things that others might not, right? It's just a total different style of play. So with that being said, this is actually the second night in a row that Chicago has scrimmed Minnesota, which is pretty nice, right? Because this weekend, the top 5 teams, all 5 of them, are going to be at this upcoming CDL Minnesota. So I can't wait, right? Because this is a tournament where some teams can actually really kind of claim some bragging rights, right? If all the top 5 teams are there and you're the team that comes out on top, or you're the team that beats like an Atlanta or a Dallas to make it to a final, I think it's going to give us a little bit of a clearer idea in terms of where the teams are standing, right? So with this, as we hop into the analysis here, we are now rotating over to P2. So it's kind of back electronic shop over there in the back left, bottom left of the mini map. And Chicago's done a really nice job. And something I want to point out is there's 40 seconds left, and PRESTINNI's doing a really nice job of getting that mid cut. Let me go ahead. Let's take a pause real quick. Let's bring up the mini map. And with that, I just want to point this out real quick, right? We're currently in P2. Chicago's holding these back spawns, which is a fantastic job. My guess would be at the end of P2 here, first set of rotations, they're going to have a pretty big lead. It's already 47-6. But if you are Minnesota, they're spawning over here towards ammo. So as they spawn towards ammo, of course, this is the quickest way to flood into P2. Hop over the wall, you could also do that. So there's really only 2 chokes, which is why P2 can be such a money hill. But I really enjoyed and I really like seeing where PRESTINNI was up. He was up here by P1 because what's the other way that Minnesota could pinch here? They could come through bottom platform, go sandbags, and they could pinch from behind. So PRESTINNI did a really nice job of being able to lock that off. And not only is he locking down that pinch route, but as P3 rotates to the other side, he's going to be coming from the top side of the map and trying to contest these spawns. This is a map, Rammaza, where if you can just string 2 hills back to back, you're going to end up getting a ton of points, right? Because a lot of times, especially this is the one map where it's like this, where if you control P2 on the left side of the map, they're probably going to control P3 on the right side. And then you'll get P4 on the left and they'll get P5 on the right, right? It just kind of ping pongs back and forth. So in one way, it keeps the scores really close because it's really hard to get 2 in a row. But on the other hand, if you can get 2 in a row, that's how you end up taking a commanding lead on the map Rammaza. So I will say, really nice job from Chicago of not only getting time inside of P2, but they also did a really nice job of getting a ton of time inside of P1. Because normally, on most hardpoint maps, the team that spawns on that beneficial side, what they end up doing is they try so hard to keep those spawns that they give up a ton of time inside of P1. You see that a lot, even on maps like Hackney Yard, right? We know how strong P2 is. So you want to hold P2 on Hackney Yard so bad that you end up giving up like 30 seconds inside of P1. And now all of a sudden, keeping control of P2 really isn't all that beneficial. I mean, of course, it's what you want to keep, but it doesn't help you out as much as it possibly could if you were able to get time inside of P1 as well. So I know that was a long-winded information, but one thing that I'll say, it looks like Minnesota did a really nice job of holding down P3. They were able to keep Chicago away. Actually, they didn't even really get past mid-map. And it looks like Chicago's about to get flipped here. It looks like they gave up dirt. There's definitely going to be somebody challenging from dirt side of the map, or they could have ran up those diagonal stairs, and that's what PRESTINNI's checking right now. But I would have liked to have seen Chicago pushed out more, right? When we saw PRESTINNI challenging there, he was still all the way in the back, and it allowed Minnesota to get into that side room there to go bottom dirt. Let me go ahead. Let's pause. Let's just show that real quick, just because I want to make sure that we're 1,000% on all this stuff. But, oops, there's still one more there. But as Minnesota's leaving P3, they have this back spawn. You just saw them take off middle. What I would have liked to see Chicago do is they know that they're going to hold down these back spawns for P4. So rather than be Prestini and hang out here and try to get this kill from there, they should really be pushed up inside of, past a little bit past P1. You should have somebody top platform. There's not a very good chance that Minnesota is going to come all the way on the flank here, right? This doesn't make too much sense because by the time you run all the way through, all the way back behind here to try to flip spawns, there's going to be like 20 or 25 seconds off the clock. So with all of that said, if you're Chicago, just try to push up more towards mid-map because the closer you get to mid-map, the easier it's going to be to hold down P4 and really get a ton of time inside of P4. So, I don't know. They are doing a nice job of holding it off, right? There's about 25 seconds left in the current hardpoint, and they are still stringing time together. It just wasn't necessarily as seamless as you would have liked to have seen it, or at least as I would have liked to have seen it. With about 15 seconds here, we're about to rotate from P4 to P5 over on the opposite side of the map over towards Ruins. This is another one that's really tough to break. If you want to break it, you kind of have to push through the top side of the map. You can see it looks like Envoy's up top. Envoy and RCs were on the top. They were trying to push through tree door, top side of P3. They were unsuccessful. So now if you're Prestini, you really just have to try to buy your time, right? Because if you just push, that's just a staggered push. You're the only one that's in there. So even if you get a kill, it's not really helping your team much. So you do want to try to maybe hide there, wait there a little bit, and do whatever you can to just wait for your teammates to come behind and help you out a little bit. That way your entire team is pushing instead of one person pushing in, staggering and dying, then another person pushing in, staggering and dying, and then the cycle continues. So with 25 seconds left, Minnesota's doing a really nice job of holding down P5. Does look like, I don't know who we were just looking at. Was that Envoy? Somebody was trying to pinch from up above, but they've got it locked down. I mean, give them credit. They locked down the top side of the map. They weren't allowing anybody to push through from P3. They were also able to lock down ammo, so they weren't allowing anybody to push down from the bottom. They do have to get that kill there. So who was that? Yeah, it was GodRx. So when you see Prestini come up, now he's spawning on the bad side, right? You want to hold that back left spawn just so that as it rotates to P2, you can get all of that time. So let's see where he comes up here. My guess would be, it looks like they have construction locked down. Yeah, they have construction, and they do have a right arrow over on kind of towards AM over there. So they have P1. This is kind of very similar. Actually, this is super similar because Prestini almost killed himself again. But this is super similar to what we saw in the first set of rotations, right? They had that back spawn. They were able to push up. They also got time inside of the hardpoint, and that's kind of the biggest thing. And Prestini almost killed himself with a nade. So, hey, you got it all there. But with 15 seconds left, we are now into the second set of rotations. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn up the team comms. I love the fact that we can listen in, hear exactly what they're talking about and what's going on. I'll still pause and chime in and draw things and break things down as I see fit, but I want to make sure that we're covering their communication as well. So with that, let's go ahead. Let's listen into their team talk and get a little bit of an idea in terms of what Chicago's doing here.
Oh, front door, he's in hill, he's full health, nice. That's five. You can push all the way out. No, I spawn here, One's spawning, they're coming mid. Dub dead, one shot dub, nice. GodRx is same X.
He's just holding an L trigger front on the circuit.
GodRx dead.
Just as we're listening in, we just got a little glimpse of somebody on the opposite side of the map. There is somebody back there. So this could be where they string P2 and P3 together. It does look like they were able to flip spawns. So they might give up the last 15 or so seconds here, but as long as they can hold down that back spawn, this could be where they run away with the game, right? If they can get a lot of time inside of P2 and string together P3, now we're really cooking with something here. So let's go ahead. Let's turn it back up.
I got one.
Nice, one more.
Bottom mid.
Got them both. No, wait, where are my bullets? Two bridge, guys, two rugs.
I see bottom mid. You get out of hill.
Play tight in hill, guys.
Got hill. Front door.
Getting your tree door. Tree dead. No one. I got them all.
Nothing ammo, guys. Nothing ammo.
Nice three-piece there.
Helping you?
On the window. One more.
Another one there.
That's all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they spawned back, right?
Wow, that was insane.
So that right there is kind of interesting. This is where I wish that I could be in Codcaster mode and actually be following along with these guys, because we were paying so much attention to the top side of the map, right? We saw an entire team kill, But we didn't see what happened over towards P5, over towards the ruins, because as we were on board with Prestini at the top side of the map, they were able to push through at the bottom side of the map. Now, they didn't end up losing all of that time, right? They were able to get back in and get the last 20, 25 seconds or so. But it would have been interesting to see what happened at the bottom there, because somebody had to have gone on a run to even get into the hard point, which gave them that spawn in P5. So let's go ahead. Let's listen back in.
Top plat on me.
Clear this shit with me.
Crack. Top plat, dead.
Top rugs, dead.
Nice, going.
I went around left.
No,
I'm going around
close,
left. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm
Down,
not.
drop 3.
The shot.
Behind the box.
Should be spawning in their back middle. Yeah, they spawn up. One.
So just real quick, if we're talking about strategy, if you're Chicago, you do want to try to get time inside of P4, but you can easily win inside of P5. So if you end up pushing forward, you don't flip spawns, and you don't win inside of P4, now you're giving Minnesota a chance to win, or at least come back if you give them P5. So we'll see what happens here. It does look like they were getting nice time, so that's what I'm talking about. They were able to get, so far, it was like 220 when it rotated back to the other side. So they were able to get, what was that, like 17 points, but they gave up spawns for P5. So is the 17 points or 15 points or whatever it was, is that worth it if you don't have spawns for P5 and you give up another 40 or 50 seconds here to Minnesota? Now all of a sudden this game's going to get really close, whereas if you just maybe not have been so aggressive and you would have played for P5, you probably could have been on your way to winning here. Just one of those things. You got to weigh the risk versus the reward here.
Pillars.
Bro.
All good.
Take your time. Go together, guys. I got assault. There's one more pillars.
Really, really love that from Arcides there. You just saw Preston get a little bit heated. You're starting to see the anxiety level raise a little bit. And you saw Arcides calm, cool, collected. Just relax, guys. Let's push together. I really like that from him. That's what they need.
Absolute Alex.
Front side hill.
Top road, judge. Oh my god.
I'm coming rugs.
We
No,
can
we're
win
not
off there?
anymore.
Alright, we can't win off there.
Yeah, one's ladder, one's old. One's ladder, one's old.
Ladder ace, hold it.
Nice,
One
that was
fucking
good.
me, top fucking me,
Everybody play old. Or new.
Side rugs. I'm going flat.
One
Leave the
flat,
guy
one
old.
flat,
Leave the
one
guy old. Two plat.
I got one. He's weak. Top plat. They're all gonna be flat.
Only one time.
Only one.
flat.
You gotta go, Seth. You gotta go. Match by yourself.
One left.
Flat, two.
We're watching the cross.
I'll kill plat.
Near hill, go right. One
I
flat.
just climbed up the ladder. Another one. Yeah.
I got him climbing up the ladder. One shot our side. Rugs. One shot.
Everyone regain. We're good.
He's
Top
in
one
useless.
useless ace him dead.
Straight.
I'm
Okay,
pushing
I
him.
know. Fucking.
Outer cat, literally one shot. Outer cat, you can shoot his
trophies.
feet, you can shoot his feet.
Things are getting pretty
And
close
rugs.
here.
And rugs.
One more top right,
Challenge.
Rugs. One shot.
Gotta get in soon.
Trying to go. I got two in
They
construction.
have trophies.
You get sprint at
Rugs.
it.
Nice. Get in. Nice.
Yo, what's
We going up there.
ping.
I
I need to paint.
RC's coming
I'm
through
gonna
with a
pick one.
massive three-piece there.
Got one other pick.
I'm holding their side.
It was front door again.
Zig. Trust.
Dead.
Yep.
Paint. Good job, Alec.
Wow, unbelievable. RC's coming through in the clutch right there towards the end.
Yo.
I don't know. That's exactly what I was talking about, right? I don't necessarily love the fact that down the stretch there, they easily could have won by 40 or 50 points inside of P5. Could they have been broken and spawned out? Of course, right? That's always possible. But the chances of winning there off of P5 are much greater if you just play for P5 and end up winning there. Could have been a little bit of a disaster there that would have ended up giving them an unnecessarily loss. But as we look here, RC's absolutely went off 38 and 25 with 15 defends. Also a really nice job from Prestini, 32 and 32. I know he was even, but again, a lot of time in the hills, a lot of time trying to control rotations and stuff like that. So really nice job there. 250 to 249, super exciting game. If you're new around here, this is the first time you've checked out one of my videos. I put up brand new videos like this covering the Call of Duty League every single day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any comments on this one, I loved what the twins did in this video. Make sure you leave comments down below. Leave a like before you head on the way. It really helps out the channel with that, guys. Thank you so much. I will catch you in tomorrow's upload.